Number 1, graph the solution to this. So this is not ready for me to put in my calculator because y has to be by itself, right? To go into my calculator, I need a y alone. Okay, so I'm going to do some work here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the y. So there's a 2y. I'm going to move the x to the other side. So negative 6x. Then I'm going to divide each thing by 2. Okay, so there's going to be some of that on your test where you have to do algebra. So you're going to keep the y item, move anything that's needed, and then divide if there's a coefficient. Okay, go ahead, calculator. It's official. My calculator has died. It didn't make it to the end. Okay, so here's my typing in my calculator. You can see I went over to this and I pushed enter, enter, enter until it pointed upward, greater than half. Okay, ready? And here's the graph of the line. So to get points, you can either hit trace and move it around or whatever, or second graph is the table. So there's a coordinate 0, 5. And there's a coordinate at 1, 2. Sorry, what's up? The table. So it's yellow right here, so you would have to push yellow, that button. And then these are just coordinates, yeah. You see that? It's good. Okay, or that you could do trace, so like 0, enter, 0, 5. 1, enter. That's another kind of way to do it. Okay, you're going to decide if this line should be dashed or solid. What's our option? I'm going to be solid. Why am I solid? Because what does this say? You can be also equal to it. So now if I'm equal to it as well, I'm on it. I'm on it or above it. Okay, and sorry, I should have mentioned this before I shaded. This says any real number, so you can be anywhere, decimals, on, points, anything, and we're there. Okay, this one. Oh my goodness, this is a bad day. My calculator batteries died, my pen died. Okay, same algebra stuff. Ready? I'm going to keep the y unit. So negative 2y is going to keep greater than. I'm going to be moving the x to the other side. So positive 2x. The 14 was already there, so plus 14 is also just staying. Then to get y alone yet, one more thing. Divide by negative 2. Red flag, red flag, red flag. What? What happened there? Who remembers my little rule? If you divide by a negative number, what happens? Remember, your sign has to flip around. Okay, don't forget that. That's on your test somewhere. So now y, this is a negative x and a negative 7. Okay, as soon as you have to divide by a negative number, there's a flip. Okay, calculator ready? So here's my typing. I have the less than direction, the down arrowed part, and then negative x minus 7. So this is the baby negative, and this is the subtract, right? So this is what it looks like. I'm going to go to my table just to have a few points. 0, negative 7. 1 comma negative 8. You can go up here as well, like that. Right? You can scroll around to get any points you want. Okay, I am dashed or solid on this one. I'm dashed. The reason is that you do not have an equal to part on this. So you are not allowed to actually be on this line. And then we talked about where it was shaded, the less than side is over here. But this time it's a little different. Why is this going to be different? Because I'm only allowed to be integers. So I'm integers on this side. So I'm going to draw you, it's called stippling. Just a indication that you can't be anything. You can only be the integers in this side. Okay, please don't spend 3 hours putting dots on every single one. As long as you've shown me a few, I get your... Okay, because there could be a bunch of dots there and I don't want that. Because that will take you 3 hours to shade that in if that's what you did. Okay, next one. This time I have put 2 lines on the same graph. Okay, number 1 here, I'm going to, again, keep 2y. I'm going to move the x. Okay, so there's my x move. Y alone, divide. Okay, I'm going to do this one as well. So this is just the algebra stuff. Move the x, divide. Okay, so get your algebra down pat, where you are moving stuff and dividing. There was no sign flips because I divided by 2 here and I divided by 2 here. So that's good. You don't have to flip anything because that wasn't a negative division, okay? Okay, I'm going to write this in before I forget. This line is going to be a solid. And actually, so is this one. They're both solid lines because I'm equal to as well. Okay, everybody's good? Algebra stuff. Understanding dashed and solid. All right, so now we're going to put them both in here. Okay, how does your calculator look with this? I got my little symbols over here. This is the greater than, this one's less. That's good. Graph. Okay, so here's the solution. It's this double shaded zone, kind of a little triangle shape. Okay, I'm going to go to my table and I'm going to get some points. So the first line, I'm going to go 0, -1. I'm going to use a 2, -4. Do you know which one of the equations this one belongs to? It's this one because of the -1, right, is the y-intercept. And if you remember from grade 10, you're going to go down 3, right 2. I don't know if you remember all those things. That's connecting, right? Okay, the other line, if I look to the second column, it's 0, 1. I'm going to use this one, 2, 0. And we said solid. And then I can see on my calculator, this is the zone that works. So I'm in this zone right here. But it tells me I, again, have to only be integers in that zone. So I'm going to show you integers with a few stippled dots. I'm the integers in that zone. That's what works. Okay, number 4. Algebra. Move anything away from the y. So keep the y. Make sure everything else is on the other side. Always that idea. Keep y, move everything onto the other side. Oh, I don't have to divide anything. It's ready to go already. Can I write dashed under it right now so I don't forget? I'm not going to be equal to it, so I have to be dashed. Okay, do you recognize this one? This is special because it doesn't have both of the letters. Okay, it's a special one. So which kind of special is it? Vertical or horizontal? When you have the same height, same height, same height, same height, same height, you are a horizontal line. Okay, so I actually can put that one into my calculator. Good with the typing, negative 4x plus 2. And then I can just go to the next one. I can do that because of the y. All right, so the first line grabs some points. So I got the point 0, 0, 2 on my table. I got the point 0, 2, and I have the coordinate 1, negative 2. Dashed. And then the other one, we talked about it being horizontal, so you can see it on there. Horizontal, it's negative 2, and where did it end up being for both? Everybody pick that zone? Double shaded zone? Okay, and I'm shading the whole thing. Why? Because this time it told me I can be anything. So real numbers, anything. Okay, here's another question on your test. Is this coordinate a solution? And you're going to have to tell me yes or no and show me why. Okay, so what you do is you replace, you plug in. So this is the x and this is the y. So I'm going to put 11 in the y spot. And I'm going to put a negative 3 into the x spot. It's a little bit tricky. Do you see what I did there? Because you're going to have to do what's the negative of negative 3. So what is the negative of negative 3? So negative of negative 3 is positive 3. Okay, what do you want to answer here? Yes or no? Is 11 greater than 11? No, 11 is not greater than 11. Okay, next one I'm going to plug in. So again, make sure your x is 1 and your y is 5. I might have things all switched around, so make sure you're putting the plugins into the right letters. So there's my plugins. Okay, my math is 3 subtract 10, which is negative 7, is negative 7 less than or equal to negative 4? Yep, that's true. Okay, last one is 0, 0, a solution to this. So you're going to plug in a 0 for x and a 0 for y. That actually all comes to 0. And what do you think about that? Is 0 greater than or equal to 14? No. Okay, so that's exactly how you'll do it on the test. Do the plugins, do the math, answer me a yes or a no. Okay, here was a question I gave somebody. The student was asked to complete this question. Is the point 3.5 a solution to this? And they made an error. So if you look, they replaced x with 3. They replaced y with 1/2. 6 subtract 3.5 is 2.5. 2.5 is less than or equal to 14. So yeah, it is a solution. But it's not a solution. Why? What did they miss? Two and a half is less than 14. That's true. All their math is good. So what did they miss? Something about the question directions. This is the problem on that one right there. 3 is an integer, that was fine, but the y was also supposed to be an integer, and 1/2 is not an integer. Integers are any negative number, 0, or any positive number, but not decimals or fractions. Okay, last question. Is 2, -3 a solution? So where is 2, -3? Right where my pen is. Is it a solution on this question? Yes or no? Yes, it is. It's in the shaded zone. It's good. It would be in the solutions. Is 1, 1 a solution? So 1, 1 is right here. My pen is right there. It actually lands on this line. 1, 1 is actually directly on this line. So would it be considered a solution on this one or not? The reason it's a no. And why? Because my line is dashed, which is saying you can't be on the line. If this is a solid line, the answer would be yes. If it's a dashed, you can't be on it. And is 1, 4 a solution? So 1, 4, here's my pen. Is that a solution? No, it's not in a shaded zone. Okay, so on your test, I will ask you a question like that. I'm also going to ask you, once you've graphed something, I'm going to say, can you name me a solution? Can you give me a point that's not a solution? So you are going to have to name points as well that work or don't work.